Except it started, I had 2 extra notes in there. So I played it for Barry Levinson, who was the director at that time, and I said, I was very stupid. I played it once on the piano, and I said, so what do you think? I don't like those notes at the beginning. Can you take those off? Oh yeah. So yeah, so no. So actually that was a good comment. That actually helped the tune. We didn't have enough time to mess around with it, and it wasn't the digital age. It was, he listened to it, and I'm sure he walked away thinking, okay, it's going to be whatever it is. I'm sure he had no idea what it was. When we got to the score, and we had 80 musicians playing it, suddenly that was his score. It wasn't this piano junk, So there's always this input that you're dealing with from the director and from the studio, from the people who have invested $60 million into it. So you don't just do what you want and walk away from it. When you go into a park like Epcot, which is a massive park, you walk in, you're standing in line to get your tickets, and you hear your music playing. I took my father there one time. I said, hey, that's my piece. Oh, it is? Oh. So he tapped the people in front. Hear this music? This is my son's music. This is my son. He wrote this. Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. So yeah, theme parks, it's fun. And I've been finding in the last couple of years that there are people who are just as goofy about theme park music as they are about films. Yeah, people really like theme park music. And they know who the composers are. And they go there with their cameras, and they sit there and they listen to the music. Like when Spaceship Earth, before Spaceship Earth started, guys were there with their cameras, listening to the tests. Oh, the theme sounds awesome. And then they send it out to all their friends. Oh, I like this. This is going to be a cool show to go see and stuff. And there's all that too. That's fun. Korngold's melodic sense was really good. Steiner's was terrific. And that tune, Terrace theme, that's a great theme. And combined with the orchestra, that I'm not sure I can even play it. All the same. It just takes your heart there, and when it's played by 30 violins, how can you not get moved at them? It's such an emotional theme. People look down their noses at melody. In concert music too, if you write a melody, you're dead. But to write a great melody is really hard. It's really hard. And these guys were really good at it. And they could write not only great melodies, they could write very great melodies for very specific situations. Like that's for Gone for the Wind. That's not Summer Place. Summer Place was something else, but he did that one really well too. It's just a different style. I think that it's easy to consider Max Steiner as being the father of film music, because the first really big film score, in the way that we understand film scores, was done by Max Steiner for King Kong. King Kong was very dramatic, very inventive, and very tightly connected to the film. So it had all the elements of what we do in film. And I think Max Steiner is even credited with inventing the click track, I think. So one of these basic things which has become very important in contemporary music all came from Max Steiner. Max Steiner is interesting because he wrote, at the end of his life, he did a score called The Summer Place. And that was the time when rock and roll was very big. And what they wanted was a rock and roll theme. And the music from the 50s, rock and roll, was very simple. Just so many rock and roll songs had those trips on the piano. So Max said, okay, so they want a rock and roll song, I'll give them a rock and roll song. And he goes, excuse me, that's a rock and roll song? But it is, because it's got the, it's hysterical, because you think, here's this old man with all this ability and so musical, writing a great tune under some stinko chords like those, and he makes it sound really great. And it turned out to be a big hit too, as it turned out. So you look at someone like that and you say, well, that's a very specific gift.